Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is Art of War, Red Tides. It's a little indie game that I saw that was kind of like a MOBA, kind of not. It's a little bit different from what you might be used to. You basically are a commander, not on a battlefield, at one end of the battlefield, fighting across to the other side of a battlefield. And the idea is basically to destroy the enemy team by going through their gun emplacements with your military forces, fighting over the center, earning points, and taking areas. You have some control, but not much. It's mostly how well you actually send your troops out. It's a little bit more somewhat, as far as command goes, realistic. You don't actually have control over the characters. Allow me to show you here. We've got an army here. I am part of the Terran army. I've got a couple different versions saved, but you can see here that I have a rifleman, crossbowman, a medic, a flamethrower guy, a scout, pavisser, A76 Mortis, sentinel, a mangonel, Asterion, and I have others down here as well, even like a battleship and some like motorcycle guy and whatnot that I haven't unlocked yet. But I mean, you can actually see what area they fall into, if they're defense, anti-air, support, and so on. And you're supposed to try and take the objective. With this, once you do so, you gain experience as a commander, and therefore can level up your forces further, as well as unlock different ones, or even different versions of them that may or may not be available, as you can see here. Plus, as you progress on your own experience level, you may gain access to different factions. Right now, I only have access to the Terrans. If I level up, I think 2 more times, I gain access to another version like the Atlak or the Yao Guai or something like that. But for now, I am just the Terran, which is somewhat human as far as I can tell. And they've got some really basic stuff, you know, like I've got a rifleman here, which if you hover over them, they have 18 health, 1 unit of armor. They've got a range of 8 when they shoot, and they can move about a speed of 12. Now, they're very basic, very cheap. If you look here, there's actually a cost. 150 of these little gems here is the cost for one of those guys. Now, of course, I could do crossbowmen instead, which have a little bit more health. They've got a little bit more armor. Not as much range as the riflemen, and they're basic, of course. But they also have an effect of slowing the enemy. Now, the advantage of this, of course, is that it'll, slow the enemy from getting to the crossbowmen so that they can actually shoot them. But the riflemen have this ability to be able to actually shoot air. Shoot things in the air. If you notice the anti-air, they are actually in there, where the crossbowmen are not. They're not fast enough with the arrows or the bolts to shoot them. So therefore, there's like a little trade-off there. Of course, crossbowmen are a little bit more, in cost because they're a little bit more useful on the battlefield, if anything, because usually they're used for fighting troops. These guys are a little more general purpose and cheap because they also die quick. Now, of course, you have a medic. This is, in my opinion, not quite fully developed game yet. It does have some issues. I mean, but hey, it is early stages, so that's the whole point of what I'm doing with these Mischief Musings series. So, I mean, I've got a medic here. She's not that smart. Actually, she runs to the front line and pretty much heals maybe one guy and then dies because she's tanking. And you don't want medics tanking. But I mean, they've got some other things here, like a flamethrower guy. He just runs straight up, and he's considered melee range. He does some damage and stuff. Each one of them might have. Well, actually, he's gonna have a different stat there. He's got a 9 for his knife stat. But I mean, that's pretty much just his stat there. Anyway, we've got some other abilities here. We've got like the pavisser is like a shieldman. He runs up and has a big defensive shield. Can really tank a lot of stuff there and do pretty good. You've got your scout, which will reveal secret or hidden enemies that might be using cloaking devices. And speaking of, we've got the A76 Mortis, or Mortus, as you would like to call it. And this one here, it attacks ground units. It's is a ground attack aircraft, but it also has cloaking field on it. Which you would think is really awesome, and can be if the enemy team is not able to shoot at air units. But also can be very weak because it doesn't do a lot of damage, really. It does have a 40 for its attack range there, but you know that's just its attack range. It's not really necessarily that powerful as far as strength. Now the Sentinel here is probably one of my favorite ones. It has a machine gun attack for ground units, and it will anti-air very well. It does also have a pretty decent range on it and a decent health pool, plus a little bit of armor, same as some of the others. The Mangonel, it's a bit finicky. This one here, for an experienced player, is going to be a very good one. It's basically just a big catapult. Otherwise, it has these two forward-facing cannons it can shoot. And of course, I just unlocked the Asterion, so I have no idea what this thing is going to be doing for me, but it apparently is also anti-air. So there's a lot of weakness to air support if you, aren't prepared for it. So you can actually get some discounts as well. Like I chose mass production here. So every time that I have 3 Pavasairs being created, they usually cost 800 each, but instead I get a reduced discount, like I'm using a coupon for 2,050. And then the Sentinel, in individual cost of 1,100, but for every 2 instead it's going to be 1,900, so I can produce even more of these guys and just spam the field with them eventually. It does take a little bit of time to get that many on the field because they're a bit expensive early game and a little bit cheaper to run late game. But let me back out of this here, and you can play versus AI. You can play with other players versus AI. You can play in ranked version. It says here that the Red Tides ladder system, you can gain 200% coins and more XP. That's right, you've got like coins up here that you can get through daily quests, rank, quick play, and so on. You got your gems, which are used to unlock units and purchase things in the shop, or in this case, purchase thing in the shop. I don't know if it's native to the English being first language, because all the players I've experienced so far all have Chinese characters for their names. But that's not going to stop me because it's free. It's free to play. So, I'm checking it out. I'll have some links below if you guys want to check this game out. But I mean, like, let's see, daily quests, for instance. Right now, if free supply drop available in this much time, if you complete your daily quest, you get these items on your next level up. You can check out your next level up after that. If I go to level 6, I unlock these guys here. All this different faction unlocks for me, and then I start unlocking different weapons and tools and stuff from theirs, and so on. And you can set up your army, you can check out the units, you can go to the store, buy different things, and check out the runes that are upgrading your account. In this case, let's see here. I have plus 3% ground unit damage. And I also have a minus 1.5% enemy ground unit damage per 9 waves. And yes, it's kind of like a castle defense in a way, so there are waves that will come. But when you play cooperative with others, you're all on the same battlefield, and each of your commanders will send in different groups per wave. So let's see here, like plus 6% all units armor. All right, that sounds good. I've got 200 of these, or 1,600 of those. Well, let's purchase this for the 160, because no, I didn't put any money into this. I earned the points by doing some of this stuff, and also I think I got like a little message in the mailbox that gave me a little bit of extra stuff. But hey, you can also click on my runes and you can see this stuff here, the different runes that you're going to get at different levels. Runes page 1. I don't have anything because I am almost, I think I just got level 4, I think. So you have to, as you progress, go in there and choose something. I can put something in here. Let's see, ground damage, or do I want minor ground damage? And you see these are red. I can put this one here. Let's see, inlay. Boop, there we go. And now my ground units get plus 3% damage, which is cool. So the more you level up, the stronger your commanding ability will be, and the greater effect you'll have on your characters. Of course, I've got a bit to go before I'll be able to unlock some other ones, but therefore I've got a red gem. I just bought a green gem, so I'm ready for the future, which is going to be a while. But you see the idea here. You can check out your 3% ground unit damage. That's all the stats. It doesn't really have too much there. Commander skills. Level 5, I will unlock Missile Strike. I get a few abilities where I can influence the field besides just deploying different kinds of troops and undeploying them per wave. I can also do airdrops, and I can do bombing runs, which are pretty darn cool, I have to say. A lot of people really like the airborne. I personally prefer the bombing run because it's a lot more satisfying. I feel like I'm affecting the battle much more by just destroying enemy units than by throwing a bunch of mine in there. But you get the idea. And then, of course, there's like the different leaderboards, and oh, that's wonderful stuff there. We're just going to have that. But achievements, you've got your different achieves in here. You get your different awards and so on for that. And you can see that I've played like 5 games so far. It's pretty good. I won. I did pretty good. You know, I did a bunch of 3v3s. I actually achieved the daily goal, which was play 4 of any type, and did that. It was pretty good. So I figure what I'm going to do here is play one sample custom game here. We hit the start game button, and then we wait, about a minute is your approximate queue time. And this isn't because I'm playing versus AI. This is to queue up to gain 2 other people to play with you as a team. Now you could play, you know, different versions. You could play 1v1 or something like that. But I figure this is going to give you more of a feel for what it is if there's more troops coming onto the field. Now I am playing Terrans. There may be people on my team also playing Terrans. They may be playing some other factions as well. We're all on the same side. It's the guys that come from the right side of the screen that are all bad guys. So, and here's a little switch around. Usually blue represents your own team, or green. Well, in this case, red is your team, and the blue is going to be the enemy team. So it might be a little bit confusing, but hopefully this won't take too long and we'll be able to get into the game straight away. There we go. That didn't take too long. And it tells you that you've got 2 other players here. They all accepted. You've got 3 AI. I click accept, and we start this up. I get to choose which ones I want. If I want, I could choose my different army setups, Terran 1 or Terran 2, or switch my faction altogether, but I'm fine with that. So I'm going to be doing that. My runes page 1 is good. So I get that bonus of 3% damage, and now I'm just clicking confirm. Please choose commander skill. Oh, I didn't choose my commander skills. I'm going to want to choose the bombing run and airborne, and then confirm this, and then I'm good to go. We can start playing in a few seconds, and looks like we've got a Terran friend, and we've got a non-Terran friend. So we've got some aliens in there, which is going to be good, because we're fighting all Terrans. So any of the weird characters you see are only going to be friendlies. But this will give you a good idea, and probably a little bit easier to assimilate what the heck is going on when the enemy team is attacking, if you're more familiar with what I have going on. So yes, she announces everything's happening here. So let's just start off by clicking the regular rifleman. I'm going to bring in 2 of these guys, and then we'll bring in flamethrower guy. And can I bring in any more than that? Looks like I can bring in 1 more. So the idea is we're on wave 1 up here, and the next wave comes in a few seconds. You know, it shows up here, and this is actually us. We got the first draw, and you can see they're attacking these center objective here. Once this is out of the way, then everybody starts attacking each other and so on. And there goes my flamethrower guy, and the rest of these start picking off the rest of it. So we've already gotten a slight advantage of the enemy team, but here come their next wave. Here comes our friendlies here. Whoops, sorry about that. This is our friendlies. You see that they don't look like the Terrans. They've got swords and weird magical powers. We've got technology and people with guns. So here's the thing though. In the top left corner you can see that I am accumulating a bunch of these like soul stones and some gold bars. Well, that's the different abilities. The gold bars represent the bombing run and the airborne airdrops that I can do. I need to actually start bringing in a bunch more guys here. So let's pay attention and start bringing in more of these. I'm going to bring more of these in, bring in 3 flamethrowers and 10 riflemen on the next round. This is going to be a very poor round actually, because yeah, they're just going to dominate my small team. I didn't upgrade my guys soon enough. But wave 5 is coming in. And that's important because if I click here, I can upgrade my soul essence mine to speed up the mining rate, which is the speed at which I can purchase troops, which is very important. But while it's upgrading, I can't buy any more. So you got to be very cautious about that. Now in this case, I'm thinking I'm just going to hold off there, and we'll boost this up to 15. So we got 15 riflemen and 3 flamethrowers coming in on the next wave. And I should be able to upgrade my soul essence mining speed once it gets up to 600. So I have to spend 600 to upgrade it. Trust me, it's well worth it. But you have to be careful. You don't just want to upgrade it willy-nilly. Here we go. Here's my big group here. We've got our riflemen, a bunch of flamers up front that are just like kind of running into melee contact with a bunch of them and soaking up a little bit of the damage because they got a little bit more health. Meanwhile, the riflemen are just like totally picking off the enemy team. And see, they did really good work there. And now I've got enough soul essence, I'm going to upgrade. Boop. And you can see that my money over here is currently now a timer. So as that's counting down, I can't really spend much more than what I already have. See, I'm not gaining any more soul essence in the top corner. But that's okay. I think we can make do. We're actually going to bring in... Let's bring in one more of these guys in the meantime. One more flamer. You can see our friends here are doing pretty good. The enemy has a bunch of, like... Are those? Oh, they brought in a bunch of healers with their group. As you can see, the healers just run up front and they don't do so good. So we've got a big advantage there. Oh, here we go. The enemy called in an airdrop. So they're getting reinforcements dropped in. Now I could do the same and help offset this. But we've got a lot of troops and I'm not too eager to spend this because every time I spend, I use one of these abilities. You can see our friend there actually just said that he's using that. It costs an additional 100 gold bars, and there's a 40-second cooldown. So you're going to have to wait a little bit before you can call in for more reinforcements. And you can see here we've got a lot of crud going on. It's difficult to see. There's a lot of screen spam here going on, but you can see that I still have some friendlies here. Now, red means friendly, and most of my guys are currently dead. My next wave is coming in shortly, and I'm actually accumulating money, which is a good thing. I'm going to want to bring in one of these big guys. This guy here, you get two... this guy here is really, really powerful. He is going to be anti-air and help us out. On top of that, next I'm going to want to bring in a scout, because there are probably invisible enemy units. You can see up here, there are some little invisible dudes flying around. There's going to be those on the enemy team. So having these two in combination, anti-air and the anti-invisible air, is going to be very important. Oh, you can see they've got a bunch of guys coming in here off on the edge of the screen. But here's upgrades. You get 2 upgrades on any one single, like through your entire group. And as I plan on focusing on this anti-air guy here, I'm actually going to upgrade him because 5% is what I'm going to get here. I can't really choose the other levels here. And then I could choose him again, and I could upgrade him a second time. And I get another 5%. So I don't get the third option yet, because I think that comes with time and experience being a commander. But for now, whenever I bring these guys into battle, and I'm going to upgrade and bring 2 more in, then they're going to be doing some pretty good work. I'm going to reduce my Flamer Patrol guys down to -1 from where they're at, so I've only got 3 on the field. And that will give me a little bit of these gems back so I can spend them elsewhere. Now you can see that we're actually kind of a little bit closer. Oh, that was an enemy bombing run that just happened on our group. That was really bad. Even though we're still pressing the advantage. But you can see we've got these little towers here that are currently shooting the enemy. These are the checkpoints, basically. As they progress slowly up, you can see that the last gun's really big. They will... basically, these are the towers that you need to take down before you can get to the enemy base, or our base. And there we go. One of those outer turrets has been taken out, and we've got our reinforcements coming in. Let's bring in a few more of these guys that are powered up with their upgrades. I think the next level up, because usually every 5 of these I like to get one of these up in place as well, especially if I start seeing the enemy with invisible flyers. There they are, the invisible flyers right now at the top of the screen there. We're taking them out. Short work, not a problem. But I want to make sure that I have these guys around to detect them. And they don't last very long and they don't do any damage. But they're well worth having on your team. So every time that I break a 5-unit threshold, I tend to bring them out. But I don't have more than like maybe 4 out at a time at most, you know. And if they survive, you will start stockpiling them. So if they don't have any Air Force, then you'll probably be wasting your money buying those. But hey, you can see now we're at wave 22. The next update for the Soul Essence Mine happens at 25. So I'll be bringing those, and you can see we've got a pretty decent army coming in with our friends reinforcing us as well as us. And they've got this troop emplacement. Well, I am going to help wreck some of it. And there we go. I just destroyed their reinforcements that they just dropped off, or at least a chunk of them. And now they've got reinforcements coming in. We've got reinforcements coming in. I'm helping this because they're making a big push right now, and I don't want us to lose that. Let's increase the number of these guys that we've got coming in. And I'm going to keep 15 of these soldiers at all times, just because they're also good fodder. They move in at a different rate, different speed. They also kind of stand in front. They may also draw fire from some large area of effect attacks that would instead be targeted on my heavier guys. So these guys here, I think I'm going to actually drop out the flamers. And I'm going to bring in my shieldmen. Because these guys here are really good at taking a beating. Next time that the wave comes in 11 seconds or so. Let's see here, actually. Should be coming in any second. We're actually pushing really well. We are just obliterating the enemy team. But here comes my wave here. You can see that... Oh, this isn't my wave. That's a friendly wave, but that's not my wave. Oh, here they come. Ready? And we're just going to drop this right there. Oh, and we accidentally bombed some of our own troops, so we got a majority of them. That was kind of poor placement on mine. Whoops. But let's see. There we go. This is my troop. You can see the shieldmen at the front here. They are very tanky, and they get focused quite regularly by the enemy team, which is really good because I've got a lot of ranged guys that are just going to pelt away at these guys. You can see that one shield guy is still alive. There he goes. He finally died, but we took out like a good, I don't know, maybe quarter of their force before that happened. So I'm thinking upgrading another, maybe not 4 more, 3 more to get a good 5 in there. I almost said even 5. It's going to be good, and that should help give us a nice defense. We'll bring in another 2 of the anti guys, and then all the rest are just going to be these guys just buffing everything out at this point. Now, if I need to reduce these guys for some reason, like this, let's say I didn't want this. Reducing it to there, that leaves it at 0. I can actually reduce it even further and remove 1 and just bring it down to 3 because I might think that I don't really need that many of them, you know, but instead I also want to buy 1 more of these. Well, there you go. I now have 10. And I see more reinforcements coming in. Let's just drop this down. And we'll take out some of their reinforcements. Not all of them, just some of them. Looks like I kind of timed that poorly. It would have been better like 2 more seconds later. But hey, this is a very even battle at the moment. We're like pushing back and forth. And you can see these are the catapult guys. Those guys do a lot of damage. Oh man. Yeah, that's kind of scary, actually. If they get a whole lot of those out there and they have a good wall of defense in front of them, they can really wreck our team pretty good. Gosh, they keep calling in these reinforcements. It's best to use them to reinforce a push, then, or if you have to really defend. Here comes my group here. Oh wow, that was a big laser beam from the enemy. They used a mega beam cannon on the battlefield. Oh brother. Well, here comes our guys, and they're doing pretty good work, I gotta say. I'm not really tempted to do too much with this. But here we go. This is perfect. Let's do this. And take out a bunch of theirs. Boom! Oh, that one went really well. That's going to give us a nice push, because now they've got to wait for their next wave to come in. And we're going to start attacking their next turret and do some serious damage, if not destroy it. Yes! Alright, now we're on their final turret. And we still have a lot of our force here. So this is a really good time to help reinforce, draw in a bunch more troops, and start beefing up the rest of our forces. Let's bring in 5 more of those guys on the next wave. This is looking good. Now, the thing is, I'm going to have to wait a little bit and earn a little bit more money before I can start bombing these guys again and bringing in extras. Our friends, though, have brought in a bunch more reinforcements. There we go. We still have these riflemen, but I find that if I just focus on one troop type that's ranged, they just make this giant wall and then they all can't reach. So it's best if you kind of have a little staggered line. Plus it gives the this extra, like, I don't know, meat shield effect to these guys. So we're just gonna increase 2 more, and we're gonna, the next one I might bring in 1 more of those. But I don't see any more of their invisible flyers. Oh, there they are. Yep, they do have them. So I'm thinking this guy, we are gonna need 1 more of those, just to make sure that they are always detected. Oh, it looks like our friendlies are just following the same suit. They are just going with this one unit type. And the enemy is mixing it up with a bunch of shieldmen, which is actually pretty good. They're absorbing the damage very well, but they're just walking into this rate of fire. Oh, wow. Ouch. And a lot of our team just got destroyed. Ooh. Oh. That's new. I haven't seen one of those before. I wonder if that's... No, that's not what I have here. So I actually should have updated that a while ago. My bad. So in the meantime, I don't think I can get any more of those guys. No, I can't. So I'm going to have to wait for my Soul Essence mine to upgrade before I can start doing much. But I can do a little bit of this and help reduce some of their... There we go. Some of their back line. And now they have a very... All they have is just their front line here, which means that their catapults are going to get destroyed. There we go. Oh, and now they're doing a counter push. Ooh, with the next wave, which just came in. Oh, brother. I'm kind of eager to get my my purchasing amount back in. Man, they just keep on wrecking our group with all these, like, massive damage. And now these guys all just, like, one hit and they die. But at least they do some... Oh, their reinforcement carrier just got destroyed by our complete wave of anti-ground support. Now, we could switch these guys up if we want. You know, if they've got so much anti-air, then we could just take all of our air support down and just do everything on the ground. Oh, the last charge. Okay, that means that we're at such a high wave that they're not going to let us do too much more at this point. They're just going to be like, all right, it's going to be whatever's on the field. You know, I'm going to wait for these guys, and then there we go. Let's see if we can actually get a decent shot. Oh, I clicked it, but I think it might have been too late. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, that would have been game-changing right there. And I can't request any more troops. This is it, basically, because we've run out of time. Oh, and they've got these... Oh, they're lobbing forces. This isn't good. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I can't request any more troops. Oh, look at all these catapults. This is terrible because they do massive area of effect in a good range, and we've got this giant line of guys that are just kind of preventing our frontliners from getting to the front. Oh no, this might be my first defeat. This might be. Or not. We're pushing pretty good, actually. They're defending really hard, but we are pushing really good. Wow, look at this. We're just wrecking them. Okay, all right, I take it back. So apparently we were able to overcome because we kept on getting the reinforcements. This guy looks like he was helping quite a bit too. Boom. And you can see I didn't even get a chance to afford some of the better troops. But yeah, that was good. That was really, really good. So let's see how much we got. Oh, just a tiny bit shy of getting the next level up. Oh well, that's all right. But you can see level up, I get access to siege engine ability, missile strike, which are my special commander strikes or commander abilities. Oh, I got MVP. Had a lot of gold produced, essence, and you can see that the enemy stats here too. Your overview, check the economy and see how production was on those. We started off stronger, and then they actually were producing more, but we were destroying them much more effectively. The number of troops we had. Oh wow, our team actually stayed fairly even. You can actually choose, how many cloaked units were there. Yeah, they had one guy that was just producing a lot of cloaked units, biological units. You've got your mechanical units, and so on. And then, of course, your total overview. Go into your skill, and you'd think, oh, is this someone's skill level? No, this is your commander's special ability, like to do an airdrop or to call in for an air raid. And at what point during the battle this happened. You can see that the AI just kind of spreads it out randomly, just keeps on calling reinforcement troops, and on occasion will do some destructive ones, which I have to admit, it did really well with those placements. And you can see that I was just like, no, wreck, troop wreck. I really like just wrecking them. But our other guys were actually kind of filling in the gaps. When I wasn't doing that, they were using some of their abilities, which a lot of people tend to use them early on. I like to save them a little bit, so because they're going to be a lot more useful when you need them in a pinch to change the push of the battle. MVP, of course, was us, and you get to see the rewards. If you want there, I've already click that, so we'll go back, and that's just kind of a sample. I hope you guys were able to see and understand what was going on. There's a lot on the screen, and you're basically changing your troop types according to the flow of battle. You're sending them into battle, and they're doing all their fighting and stuff, and you can be countered really hard with a lot of like air support, ground support, different kinds of powers, abilities, commander specials, and so on. And however you want to push or defend your characters as well. And you saw at the end there, like the AI was doing a really good job at defending, and I thought that we were actually going to lose that line of offense that we had going. But we were able to break their front line and get to those backliners. Therefore, it made a really big difference. But, I mean, hey, it's still in early stages. I recommend you check it out. You could probably get it for free. I believe you just follow the link that I've got down in the description below, and we can get you hooked up. So that was just a quick sample of this wonderful game. So hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please give a like, comment below, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and until next time, folks, don't forget to spread the mischief, and I'll see ya.